viewer, welcome to another episode of Fast Foods Fast. This is the cooking show where you get to learn about the fast foods that God gave us and how fast you could fix them in your own kitchen. Now today we are all about anemias, particularly for children below the ages of 7. I will be your host, Lois Otiende, and this is my co-host,
Tabitha Ucheng.
And we have our guest in the cooking show as well,
Jackie Mudeu.
So today we'll be looking at that, and we are beginning with something called sweet shake and cocoa date candies. I'm afraid when I tell you to say sweet shake, you will say something.
I don't have a problem,
With
Lois.
S
I
and
will
SH?
say sweet shake.
Oh, I thought you would say
Sweet shake, definitely.
All right.
Okay, so we are all about the sweet shake and our cocoa date candies.
Wow.
Now, why would we have this sweet shake? We remember children don't like.
This is for children, and children have issues with mboga, greens,
vegetables.
yes,
And they
which we
still
know as a very good source of iron. But if they don't like it and you can't push it down their throats, then you really have to work around that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we know that below the ages of 7, we have lots of children who are vegetarian sometimes have a problem with iron. And because children are, as you're saying, they don't like vegetables, so we are trying to do something that can help boost their iron levels, but at the same time they'll also enjoy what they're eating. So let us get on with this sweet shake. Now for the sweet shake, what we will be having there, of course, we cannot have shake without bananas.
Bananas?
So we will be having bananas in our sweet shake. And of course, we know bananas have high levels of
Potassium.
potassium. And
yes.
children, as they play, they lose a lot of that because they are very active. So we need to boost it with some of the snacks that would
It also boosts the energy.
so because of the sugar content. Okay, so that would be good. So ensure you have this in all your shakes. We'd also have in some mangoes there.
Mango.
So we have 2 ripe mangoes that have been diced already. We'll be putting that into the shake as well. And of course, to boost the vitamin C contents of that, we would also have a bit of baobab powder.
Very
Lest
rich
you
in
forget.
vitamin C.
Trust me, we cannot have shake without milk. So we are going to put in some milk. We need some protein. We know children need more protein and more iron than adults. Actually, some researchers say they
There's
need
something
5
that you
times
missed
more.
on the baobab.
Yes.
It has vitamin C.
That's what we actually said. You
Actually, you didn't mention it. It has vitamin C. I want to add something.
Yes.
It has vitamin C, which it helps in absorption of iron.
Yes.
And this
And
iron
that is
helps
important.
in making the hemoglobin, whereby if we have low hemoglobin levels, then automatically then we have low levels of red blood cells.
So that is fine. So we have the baobab to boost the vitamin levels, as we had mentioned. Then I think that's it for the shake. We'll just about have this, that, and that. Okay. So we're going to begin with the mangoes in there. Jackie, I think you just moved the blender for her, right? So you could have the mangoes there. Then let me just peel. Now, as we are talking about anemia, and specifically in children, what could be some of the causes of that?
Maybe before we start with the cause, what is anemia first? Anemia is whereby we have insufficient red blood cells. Because the bone marrow, there is this, which is the center or the middle part of the bone, has hemoglobin, which is part of the red blood cells. And for the blood to have hemoglobin, you have to have the iron to make the hemoglobin to have the red blood cells. So anemia is whereby now we have the insufficient of the red blood cells, because the red blood cells carry the oxygen over. It takes the oxygen to the body. It takes the oxygen to the body through the blood. It takes the oxygen to the body through the blood,
Through the blood,
and some of the signs or symptoms that can tell you that you have anemia are like fatigue. Fatigue. Why fatigue? Because why fatigue? Because the brain uses glucose and oxygen.
Yeah,
Brain uses oxygen, and
You know, like I told you, once I start cooking,
You-
my mind switches
you
off.
can't multitask. Yeah, so the brain uses oxygen and glucose. So when the red blood cells are not working and they're not taking oxygen through the blood to the body, then we kind of get fatigue because there is no sufficient blood glucose
Yeah.
to give us energy. And then you can have shortness of breath, you can have muscle or chest pain.
But
And-
now let's look at situation, because we are dealing specifically with children here.
Yeah, we just want
So-
to give a general overview of
So-
what, yeah.
So looking at children,
Sorry, I didn't warn you. I'm ready to blend.
okay, fine. I know you enjoy the noise of blending.
I do.
Okay.
Done.
So I think just before you remove that, just add the
baobab
the
powder.
tablespoons of baobab. So as I was saying with children sometimes, there are quite a number of things that affect
Affect
the iron stuff.
our baobab, very rich in vitamin C.
Yes.
Okay, so
So
one.
addressing children specifically,
Sure.
what would a parent notice in their child? For instance, because I know in certain situations when someone visits maybe clinicians or the places where they make references to how their children are faring on, some children fail to thrive when they have problems with. Yeah. So you'll notice, what is wrong with my child?
They're not active.
Even if some of them could be, but they tend to be unusually tiny.
Tiny.
Children who suffer anemia are usually much smaller than their age mates.
Oh.
So you'll always notice there's a serious
There's a gap.
difference,
Yes.
in
There's a
terms
gap.
of muscle,
Build.
tone, and things. So there is that failure to thrive. Okay.
Can I finish this?
Yes.
Then I can concentrate. Yeah. I know you're looking at me and wondering, when am I ever going to finish?
finish
Okay, just
that?
one last time. Good.
And
That's done.
just for a little bit of iron boost, we can add
the
this.
molasses.
That's what
We
I
could
wanted to
have-
do, and then you, let me just blend. I know we're going to
Okay.
use it also in the coconut candies, but it's just good to always have a little bit more of iron, because now that we are all iron, though it will turn it a little bit.
Yeah, it will change
The color is not
but
very
for
interesting.
Good. For
The
good,
color
for
is not
the benefit
very
of
interesting,
the children.
but
let me tell you, this is still
yeah,
quite okay.
yeah.
Okay, now
So
this
you'll have
this won't
that.
take time, so yes, then we can concentrate on the discussion. Even
So why
as
would we
prepare.
put blackstrap in there? Of course, because of the iron. We know that 1 tablespoon of blackstrap gives you just about all the iron you need for a day. Yeah,
Which is essential for the
Yeah.
purpose of preventing anemia.
exactly.
Okay.
So
can I finish?
okay.
Are you ready to let me finish? Okay. Yeah, so that we do something else. Yeah. So you want the color? Okay, so that's done.
Yeah.
Our shake is done.
Okay, so that shake is very nutritious for children especially,
Yes.
because as we mentioned, there's the vitamin C that enables absorption of iron, and then we also have the iron itself from the blackstrap, and children will enjoy it because it has a sweet
Yeah,
taste.
It has a
sweet.
twist taste.
And
It
by
is
the way, you know,
sweet.
children require at least 5 times more iron and protein than adults.
Yeah.
Because they're very active.
Yeah.
They're active, they're growing.
So we
They're
need-
remember the protein for growth? Yes, they
And
need
the
that.
iron, so you have to boost iron, especially for children who who tend towards being on a vegetarian diet.
Uh-huh.
They have to get this like almost every other. Otherwise, you'll notice
That's not to suggest though that I cannot enjoy this.
I know we cannot tempt you with sweet
Yeah, it's an
things.
important part. It's not limited just to the toddlers.
That is
That's
it.
Yeah, but this particular recipe was especially
geared
for
towards-
toddlers.
for the toddlers. Yeah.
This particular recipe was basically just for them.
Okay, so we can get started on this.
Then
Yeah.
we have now so that shake is ready.
Yeah.
So the next thing we want to do is the cocoa date candies. So you don't want your children eating sweets and candy bars from
which
Sure,
are not
they
healthy,
should.
Yeah.
and which would actually interfere with their iron
Yes,
intake,
yes.
because they take the sweets, they are full. You give them rich food, valuable food, they don't want it
Yes.
now, and especially after sweets, then you want to give them greens.
Yeah.
There's usually
No, they
that
will
problem.
not take.
They will not take.
They will not take. But we want them to enjoy their snacks and also have something, because so that they're not getting it. We don't want to give them that which is unhealthy. So we want to give them an alternative of candies that are healthy and at the same time they can also enjoy. So
Enjoy.
something else about dates. Huh? Why would you want to have dates?
For energy levels.
They're sweet.
You see, if there is if the red blood cells are low,
Yeah.
then there is no circulation of blood, which we get the oxygen, which boost our energy levels. So if your toddler maybe already is anemic,
Yeah.
this will boost the energy levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have we can do
The
an 1/8 cup of sim-sim. Just turn on that.
Yeah.
So for that we'll begin. And by the way, we need to talk about this sim-sim. Why are we having
Yeah,
it?
the sim-sim.
Okay. Why are we having it in these candies?
Number one,
So we'll put an
seeds.
1/8 cup of that. So number one, seeds.
Seeds. I talk about seeds, and I look back and see that is one of the foods that God gave us. So there must be some benefits. I know you guys will help me out, but I know there are benefits because it's a seed.
So of course we have the sim-sim is rich in things like calcium. It also has iron. It also has the healthy fats. And of course we know children on a vegetarian diet tend to not have proper muscle build because of lack of good fats in their foods.
Even because of the healthy fats,
Yeah.
it also boosts the cognitive skills.
Yes.
That is it.
Does it
That
also
is
have
it.
the omegas? I think it does.
It has the
does.
omega
It does.
3s, yeah.
Yeah. So
Serving the same
it's good for
purpose.
the brain
Sure.
also. Okay.
If I were to do an exam, seeds. That one I choose without thinking much of it.
So
But
we are,
yes,
what are we doing with them?
So
we
we are just tossing them at least.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
So that now, when they are raw like that, they tend to have some bitter taste sort of. So if we toss them a bit, could I help you with something? Huh?
I'm glad you've noticed. Although this is manageable, this is
I
manageable.
think it's
Jackie.
manageable.
I think it's, that's what just pick it from there. Then we just turn
What is
it.
that?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Something to turn.
Okay.
This.
Wooden spoon.
Sorry.
Wooden stick will
It's
do.
spilling.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
certain.
So,
Okay.
so we have that.
We have this. You can take them raw.
Yes.
You can take them when they are toasted. You can make butter out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be taken in
In
different
different forms. huh?
forms. Yeah, just depending
And actually,
on
if
the
you had the
preference.
butter, though, it wouldn't taste so good.
So
but I
good,
just wanted to
yes.
suggest you could put it in the smoothie, but you have to have something to sweeten as well.
Yes,
Sure.
that's true. Okay.
But the bananas are enough. We can still.
Yeah. Okay. So
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 this heat, you might need to increase it. Huh? Okay,
that's
it's
the
fine.
best. It's
Okay.
fine. It'll
Okay.
take just a little bit of time.
Because
so
we'll
if
allow it to
you
cool.
probably just took us through the process. Because,
Okay, we'll just continue. I think what we do, we'll just continue tossing that because we'll also need to allow it to cool.
to cool a bit.
So we are just going to be taking a short break at this point, and we'll be right back after the break with a continuation of these cocoa date candies. Welcome back. We are still on to our cocoa date candies, and this is what we have done so far. We tossed our sim-sim.
Yes, sim-sim. I said you said.
Okay.
You say sim-sim.
In our pan, and it has already cooled well. So we're going to proceed with it now to make what we want to give these children.
Candies. All I want to say is candies.
Candies. Or
Yeah, but
candies.
still on anemia.
Still on anemia.
Still,
Yes.
Now, of course, I think we need to also address risk factors. Who are the people at risk of having anemia or of getting anemic?
Of getting anemic. Yes.
We know people over the ages of 65, children below the ages of 7.
Yeah. We live in a malaria-prone zone, and
Parasitic
malaria,
infections.
yes, malaria and other infections actually are a very key thing.
Okay,
You know?
Tabi, just assist us with some spoons. Then we can use that.
So
to
maybe
toast
talking about the causes. We've already talked about the causes, the risk factors, yeah?
No, we haven't mentioned the
We
risk
haven't?
factors.
Okay, what are some of the risk
we
factors?
just
Who are the
started.
people at risk?
Who are the people at risk?
People at risk.
Children aged below
7.
years,
People over the ages of 65.
65,
Pregnant women.
pregnant women. Yeah, and what are the types of anemia? We have vitamin deficiency, where we have deficiency of
Vitamin B12
vitamin B12 specifically, the folate. And another type is the sickle cell anemia, where
Sickle
the cell anemia.
You're born with the sickle shape.
Yeah, where
So
you
at this
find the
point,
red.
just as you talk,
Okay.
we are just putting in a little bit of desiccated coconut in the tossed sim-sim. So we have that. Just
Which is-
it will give it that kind of
The flavor, or taste.
Could we just put a little bit more?
I know. You are not going to stop at
I
that.
think what we do, let's use the bigger bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
This will limit our amount of desiccated coconut. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll just
then
So
have
will
that.
it give it that texture of crunchy
Yeah,
like?
yeah. It will have some interesting taste. So Jackie, you were saying something about
Yeah, I had mentioned of vitamin deficiency, which is a type of anemia.
Yeah.
We also have sickle cell anemia, where we find the red blood cells have this crescent
That
shape.
shape.
Yeah,
Yes.
because of the genetic defects.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about that shape?
What about
it's
that
sickle
shape?
shape.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sickle shape.
You know the shape. You know how a sickle looks like.
I do.
Please explain,
Lois, you're
Lois.
not
Please
getting-
explain.
No,
She's
she's
not-
not getting my
Be
question.
imaginative.
What I want, I've understood the shape, but how is it related to anemia?
That's where I
That
was
is
going.
Oh, okay. I was ahead of
Hey,
you.
that was. Hey.
Okay, let's explain the shape.
I think we need
If
to make this
something-
fast to
Yeah.
boost her energy levels, because apparently I'm seeing the.
We should have given her a bit of
We
smooth.
should have.
But Jackie, you know,
All right.
if something is this shape, and then it comes like this instead,
Sure.
it will not
Say
hold them
this.
as much as if it's in this
Yeah,
shape.
and it won't work efficiently. Therefore, the oxygen that it's supposed to carry
Yeah.
and take it.
Is compromised.
Yeah, it's compromised.
Now
So-
I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I was.
Okay, let
Believe
me
me,
end
what was-
this now.
Okay.
Then
And
we
get
just
to the-
do
put a
the-
bit of this. We've
Yes,
already
molasses.
put just a little bit of it. So we'll have that and we'll mix. Okay. So Jackie, you're talking about vitamin deficiency anemia, but you know there's also the iron deficiency, the one that comes with low intake from iron in the low intake of iron in the
iron.
diet.
In
That
the
is where I
diet.
was.
So
So
there
you
is-
guys are taking me fast. I was first explaining.
You're just pulling words from your mouth.
You're pulling words from my
Yeah.
mouth. Okay, thank you. So we were talking about the sickle cell anemia, and it's caused because the red blood cells
Yeah.
they form this crescent shape because of the genetic defects,
Yeah.
and therefore it won't be able to work sufficiently to get
Yeah.
the oxygen
To
into the
take
blood
up the
through the blood
oxygen.
into the and it causes pain because when it forms that shape,
Yeah.
then it gets stuck in the blood vessels. Therefore, it causes pain. So for sickle cell anemia,
Yeah.
there's also the pain part apart from.
And
Yeah.
I've heard there are these other types. There's anaplastic anemia where you have the bone marrow issues. I think bone marrow infections also
Yeah.
compromise the amount of iron that you have.
Sure, yeah, and there's this other one, this other type of anemia, which is very common. Now, what you're talking about, Lois, the iron deficiency.
Yes, it's the
Iron
most common
deficiency,
type.
Yes, the most common type.
Really, you have a problem with more?
No.
Just I know you
More
won't
is
mind.
better all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Yeah, we will.
So in the iron deficiency, anemia, we find like pregnant women, they're affected.
Yeah.
You find that their
Yeah.
HB count. And I have an experience of a friend I know who had a the HB count level was low.
Okay.
So now that we have this, Jackie, just hold on to that point. So we have pitted our dates already.
dates.
So we want
So
to just
what is-
fill them.
Pitted dates.
Pitted means it doesn't have something
The
inside.
seed has been removed.
Maybe someone is wondering. You
Yes, yes, that was a
Really?
good point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jackie,
Or
you're
maybe
not the
someone
one who
on
was
me.
wondering. Don't worry.
know. I know you would have
We are
asked
not
that.
natives to this. So we have.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
Clearly, I'm seeing a challenge. My fingers are big.
She
They are
doesn't.
fat.
She
They're
doesn't
fat.
want
And
to do
Lois
this.
wants me
She doesn't
to
want
go
to
down
do
and
this.
I
handle
know.
these two tiny things. I can handle them once a meeting, but this,
Oh really? So we just fill them that way.
Yeah.
Maybe you could show our viewer.
Yeah.
It looks wow.
So you feel it in it. You know it's, and then it's also sweet.
yeah, it's very nice. Very,
And it
very
has
nice.
your protein, your fats in there. It has your omegas. It has calcium.
Come to think of it, being a vegetarian,
That's
it means you won't that your kids won't miss out.
Yeah.
Like on
so they
that.
can also enjoy
You
everything.
can also
Yeah.
enjoy as well.
okay.
So I know.
These ones,
So
these
just
ones are small.
yeah.
That's my only complaint. Of course, I appreciate the fact that kids can also enjoy. And you know, sometimes
Yeah.
people have this view that once you're a vegetarian, then your life is dull and
Yeah.
it's so boring and no, it doesn't have to be so. So
It's only that we're just lazy. We don't
Try
want
this
to
with
try out stuff and
Try this with
Just
your
think of
toddlers and
different-
you will notice they will not complain.
okay, so
And
back
grabs-
to anemia
They'll not
again.
grab sweets in supermarkets.
Oh yes,
And in
they'll know.
shops and in
They'll
shops.
know that there's
Back
something
to
better
anemia.
too.
back to it. But
anemia.
we're talking about things related to anemia. These
You
guys,
know, she's telling me
I
that and
know.
I'm wondering.
I'm a scholar.
her problem.
Oh, really?
Her
Oh,
problem.
yes, I am.
Her problem is
In
this.
this show, I have learned so much because I listen
Look at
well.
how she's defending herself. You know her problem. She has low. The sugars have just gone down.
Yeah,
I
she
think
wants
we need
that.
to. Yeah.
Jackie, please grab a
Let me
glass.
serve for her.
Yeah,
No,
just
no,
give her a
it's
bit of
fine.
the
It's
smoothie.
fine.
We'll
You
go.
sure? You'll
we'll,
manage.
no, we'll go to the end. I just
No,
want
I
us to
really
keep
doubt.
talking.
Let me
Yeah.
get a glass.
Okay.
I really doubt. I really doubt.
And if
And
you
I'm
up my
noticing-
sugar at this point, are you ready for what else is going to happen?
She'll be too excited.
She'll
won't
be too
listen.
excited.
Let's finish.
You know, I'm wondering why you people are so eager to eat these candies, but
This-
you're not even
this
interested
smoothie-
in helping me to
I
prepare
tried,
them.
Lois, but it's, you know, it's
She
not
has a
my
genetic
problem.
excuse.
Yes, my hands, my fingers are so big.
That's very
They're
interesting.
so big.
So her children wouldn't eat candies because her fingers are too big.
But
We'll
definitely
make
she
them.
doesn't have
Oh, really?
They will
toddlers.
make them.
They will make them for themselves.
Your grandchildren,
My grandchildren.
when they visit,
Yeah, I just do one or two to show them, and then yeah, they can do the rest for themselves.
okay.
I believe in involving them.
So we are trying to say that even if someone is born with sickle cell anemia or all those autoimmune diseases, as they call them, that predispose them to anemic issues, then they can still eat well and live a healthy and normal
A
life.
healthy and normal life. Yeah,
Yeah.
as before we started doing this, I was talking about pregnant women. They're
Yeah.
affected
Oh,
because
and
we
you had
find-
a testimony.
yeah, a testimony of someone that I know who
Yeah.
had low blood count. And you know what they did? We've talked about having green leafy vegetables to boost our iron levels.
Yeah.
They just took cabbage, a quarter cabbage, 2 carrots, 1 red onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and
That
any-
sounds like a very popular recipe. I
you know it.
Yes.
We've done it, and our viewers have already experienced that. Yes, and she used to juice it for just a week. Went back and checked her hemoglobin levels, and guess what? They were normal.
That sounds like someone I
Really?
know.
Who is that?
Really?
We won't mention
no,
here.
no names, no names here. No names.
No names. We are not mentioning names. So we thank God for
Yeah.
this what he's given us
You
and
know,
the
one
way
time-
he's created us.
Lois, this is what I was
Jackie,
telling
now
you.
that you're on to testimonies as well, you know, one time my son also had iron deficiency anemia, and I had to give him some iron boosts of these things that we are trying to do here. And in just about a month, he was fine.
He was fine.
Yeah, and the doctors were surprised.
Oh, wow.
They were like, they have never seen improvement like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
so fast.
Fast.
So fast.
So what
So
I
we need
hear,
to
what I hear you say is that nutrition then can really help us go through some of these conditions
Sure.
that may look like they're very difficult,
They're
they're
very-
so scary,
Yeah.
they're
Like death sentence or something
no,
of the
they are
sort.
never a death sentence. So we need to understand first what the causes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once we've understood that, then we know how to feed for a good effect.
And
I-
that
I
is
think
very
we're just-
important to
yeah.
deal
This
with
is
the
just
cause
about
first.
done.
Yeah, I think this is just about done, Jackie. Probably could just assist us with preparing for service.
For service.
Oh, yes.
So it will get the
Okay.
jug.
Now I'm excited.
Oh, really? And your fingers are not big.
No, I tried. I said I wouldn't just
You're-
let you suffer alone. I've
Okay.
really tried.
Oh, it's good to laugh.
Yeah. So our
So we
children
are doing that
can
as the
afford
last
to
one.
eat
Yes.
interesting things
And still benefit,
and still
benefit nutritionally. Yeah.
They will be healthy. You see, Lois, this is what I meant.
It's okay. You're the one who always says it doesn't have to be perfect.
Sure.
So let's use your line.
Okay.
To make
that's
you
fine,
work.
That's fine. Well,
Jackie is serving us
okay,
in
if anybody
the jug.
doesn't like this, I
Jackie
will
has
make
just
use of.
served you in the jug.
In the jug.
Yeah, you know that's good because
Jackie.
in a glass I would gulp it all down and forget about finishing
I know you
this
love bananas.
Jackie, don't
ending
try this
this
lady with a jug.
show.
But remember the other time it was Jackie who shocked us?
So
was
let
the
me
day we were
ask you,
cooking.
are we just going to let our children not do greens because they don't like them?
No.
Well,
It just depends with how you present
See,
them
this
to
one
make
even broke.
to make them attractive to
managed.
them. You can juice them.
Yeah.
You can make salads.
Interesting salads that will.
So,
You can make
yeah,
them.
so just as you serve this, you could also just sprinkle some more
some more
desiccated
desiccated
coconut
coconut.
on top.
So in this type of iron deficiency, or rather iron deficiency anemia, we encourage the intake of iron-rich foods
Yeah,
Iron-rich
and vitamin
foods.
C as well.
and vitamin C
Yes,
because
vitamin C.
helps the
So
body
we
to
have
take it
the-
up.
to take up the
Yeah.
iron.
Yeah,
Yeah. So now I think we're just done.
you're done.
Yeah, we are ready
Me,
to
I'm
serve.
done serving.
Basically.
That is simple and fast. And
Yeah.
So we have our smoothie.
Okay.
Yes.
the smoothie is ready.
Then we
how do
have
you want to?
candy. I think they're fine in
We're
that.
fine in that.
And our
Over the board. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. You want us to remove? It's okay.
You don't even have to remove.
Oh, really?
It's okay.
I know it's okay. It's just natural.
Okay.
Basically, that's it. Jackie, just hand over the jug to this
Okay.
place.
Okay.
And then, yeah. So this is what you can give your toddlers. You can give, yeah, toddlers.
Yeah.
So give them these candies, give them the smoothie. They're going to enjoy it. It's sweet, and they'll probably get what they need. Protein
Yeah,
is there, iron is there, vitamins is there, the right omegas are there, all those fats. So
Sure.
keep
So in short,
healthy.
they are healthy.
But anyway, even you can take it.
need
It's
to be
not
healthy.
just for
For
toddlers.
Toddlers.
Okay, so that is it for today. Until next time, this was Fast Foods Fast. I was your host, Lois Otinde. This is my co-host
Tabitha Oche.
and our special guest.
Jackie Mudil.
So we'll hope to see you till next time. Bye.
Bye.